It's gonna be all right, sweetheart. Don't look back.
Papa, I'm scared.
I won't let them have you. Just hold on tight.
At exactly 2:17 in the morning, 11-year-old Lily woke up and realized her father was gone. She searched the entire apartment. The kitchen was empty. The bathroom was empty. Then she noticed something strange. Her father's old shoes were missing. The same shoes he wore every night when he secretly left the house. Lily followed him, and what she discovered behind the closed doors of a luxury mansion destroyed everything she believed about her father's life. Because the man she thought was simply a poor single dad was secretly preparing revenge against the family that had destroyed their lives. And Lily was about to discover a truth about her mother that no one had ever told her. Daniel Carter was 38 years old and exhausted. Every morning, he woke up before sunrise. Not because he wanted to, because he had to. His 11-year-old daughter, Lily, depended on him for everything. Daniel cooked breakfast. Daniel packed her school lunch. Daniel braided her hair, although after years of practice, he still wasn't very good at it. And Daniel worked 2 jobs. During the day, he drove a delivery truck. At night, he cleaned offices in one of the richest parts of the city. He slept less than 4 hours most nights. But whenever Lily smiled, Daniel pretended everything was okay. "Dad," Lily said one morning, staring at her lunchbox. "Yes. Why do other kids have expensive lunches?" Daniel looked confused. "Expensive lunches. Emma brings sushi. Olivia has steak sometimes. And yesterday, Sophie had these tiny golden cupcakes." Daniel laughed. "Golden cupcakes. They weren't actually gold. Good, otherwise, your dad would have a serious problem." Lily smiled. But then her smile disappeared. "Dad, are we poor?" Daniel stopped moving. For a few seconds, he didn't know what to say. Then he sat beside her. "We don't have much money, sweetheart." Lily looked down. "But are we happy?" Daniel smiled. "Because you're here, yes." She hugged him, and Daniel closed his eyes. Because Lily didn't know the truth. They weren't always poor. Once Daniel had everything. A successful business. A beautiful home. A wife he loved. And a future he believed was safe. But 8 years earlier, everything disappeared overnight. Daniel had once worked for one of the largest construction companies in the city. Harrington Developments. The company belonged to Richard Harrington, a billionaire known for charity, luxury, and power. But behind closed doors, Richard Harrington was not the man the newspapers described. Daniel had discovered something dangerous. The company was using cheap, unsafe materials in several apartment buildings. Daniel found documents proving that innocent families could be in danger. He wanted to report it. His wife, Sarah, begged him not to. "Daniel, these people are powerful," she warned. "We can't stay quiet," Daniel replied. "What if something happens to us?" Daniel held her hand. "Nothing will happen." Those were the words he regretted for the rest of his life. Nothing will happen. But something did. 3 days later, Daniel was arrested. He was accused of stealing nearly $2 million from the company. The evidence looked perfect. Bank records, signed documents, security footage. Everything pointed toward Daniel. He lost his job, his home, his savings, and almost everyone he trusted. But the worst day came 2 months later. Sarah died in what police called a car accident. Daniel never believed it. The brakes on her car had failed, and the investigation ended suspiciously fast. After that, Daniel stopped fighting. Not because he was guilty, because Lily was only 3 years old. She had already lost her mother. Daniel refused to let her lose her father too. So he disappeared. He changed his life. And for 8 years he worked quietly, waiting, watching, collecting evidence, and preparing for the day he could finally destroy the people responsible. Lily knew almost nothing about this. To her, Daniel was simply Dad, the man who burned pancakes, the man who cried during animated movies, the man who always told terrible jokes. But recently, Lily noticed something changing. Her father was becoming secretive. Every night, he locked himself in his bedroom. Sometimes she heard him talking on the phone. Sometimes she heard papers moving. And sometimes she heard him crying. One night, Lily woke up thirsty. She walked toward the kitchen. Then she saw Daniel standing near the front door. He was dressed in dark clothes. He checked his watch and quietly left the apartment. Lily waited, then followed him. She knew it was wrong, but she was scared. Her father had been acting strange, and she wanted answers. Daniel walked for nearly 20 minutes before reaching a wealthy neighborhood. Lily stayed far behind. Then she saw something unbelievable. Daniel entered the backyard of a huge mansion. The Harrington Mansion. Lily didn't know why, but she climbed over a small fence and followed. Through a window, she saw her father. He wasn't cleaning. He wasn't working. He was meeting someone. A woman. The woman handed Daniel a folder. Daniel opened it. Even from a distance, Lily could see photographs, documents, and a picture of her mother. Lily covered her mouth. Suddenly, Daniel looked directly toward the window. Their eyes met. Lily froze. "Run!" Daniel shouted. But it was too late. Security guards grabbed Lily. Daniel rushed toward her. "Don't touch my daughter." The guards pushed him back. And then a voice came from behind them. "Daniel Carter." Everyone turned. Richard Harrington stood at the mansion entrance. Older, more powerful, and still terrifyingly calm. Daniel stared at him with hatred. "Let her go." Richard smiled. 8 years. Daniel said nothing. "I thought you were smarter than this," Richard continued. "Let my daughter go." Richard walked closer to Lily. She was shaking. "Dad." Daniel immediately stopped. His entire body changed. He wasn't thinking about revenge anymore. He was thinking about Lily. Richard looked at her. "You have your mother's eyes." Daniel's face went pale. Lily looked at her father. "What does he mean?" Richard smiled. And Daniel knew exactly what he was about to do. He was going to reveal the truth. A truth Daniel had spent 8 years hiding. "Your mother," Richard said softly, "didn't die in an accident." Lily stopped breathing. Daniel screamed. "Don't listen to him." But Richard continued. "Your father knows exactly what happened." Lily turned toward Daniel. Tears filled her eyes. "Dad." Daniel couldn't speak. Richard leaned closer. "Ask him who killed your mother." Daniel's hands clenched. Finally, he whispered, "I know." Lily stepped backward. "You know." Daniel closed his eyes. "Yes." "Then why didn't you tell me?" Because Daniel had spent 8 years protecting her from the truth. But now the truth was standing directly in front of her. Daniel told her everything. Richard Harrington had ordered Daniel to destroy the evidence. Daniel refused. So Richard framed him. And when Sarah threatened to expose everything herself, she was murdered. The car accident was staged. Lily started crying. No. Daniel walked toward her. I'm sorry. You lied to me. I was trying to protect you. You promised Mom's death was an accident. I know. How could you? Daniel looked broken. Because Lily was right. He had lied. For years. Lily ran away. Daniel wanted to follow her. But Richard's guards blocked him. Richard smiled. Still think you can beat me? Daniel stared at him. And for the first time in 8 years, Richard saw no fear in Daniel's eyes. Only anger. Daniel slowly smiled. No. Richard looked confused. Daniel continued. I don't think I can beat you. He pulled out his phone. I know I already did. Richard's face changed. Daniel pressed a button. Across the city, thousands of emails were being sent. To journalists, police investigators, government officials, and every major news station. The folder Daniel had collected for 8 years contained everything. Bank transfers, secret recordings, video footage, proof of corruption, proof of unsafe buildings, and proof that Richard Harrington ordered Sarah Carter's murder. Richard grabbed Daniel. You think anyone will believe you? Daniel whispered. They already are. Sirens began approaching. Richard turned toward the gates. Police cars. News vans. Reporters. The mansion was surrounded. Richard looked at Daniel with pure rage. You planned this. Daniel smiled. For 8 years. But then Daniel looked around. Lily. She was gone. Daniel's heart stopped. Richard laughed. Looking for your daughter. Daniel attacked the guard holding him. He ran through the mansion. Upstairs. Downstairs. Every room. Lily. Then he heard a scream. From the rooftop. Daniel ran outside. Lily was standing near the edge. Richard had followed her. He grabbed her arm. Come with me. No. Daniel stepped forward. Let her go. Richard pulled Lily closer. Daniel stopped. One more step and she falls. Lily cried. Dad. Daniel looked directly at her. Listen to me. Richard shouted. Be quiet. But Daniel continued. Lily, look at me. She did. You remember what I taught you. Lily nodded through tears. Be brave. Daniel smiled. That's right. Richard suddenly pulled her. But Lily reacted. She stepped hard on his foot. Richard lost his balance. Lily broke free. Daniel rushed forward. He caught her just before she reached the edge and held her tighter than he had ever held anyone. Police officers stormed the rooftop. Richard Harrington was arrested. And for the first time in 8 years, Daniel Carter could finally breathe. Months passed. Richard's trial became one of the biggest scandals in the country. His company collapsed. Victims received compensation. Several corrupt officials were arrested. And Daniel was officially cleared of every crime. The government offered him money. Television stations offered interviews. But Daniel refused almost everything. He had lost enough years. He didn't want fame. He wanted his daughter. One morning, Lily sat at the kitchen table. Daniel was making breakfast. She watched him carefully. Dad. Yes. You're burning the pancakes. Daniel looked at the pan. Smoke was everywhere. Oh. Lily laughed. Daniel smiled. Then she became quiet. I was angry at you. Daniel nodded. I know. I still am a little. Fair enough. But I understand why you didn't tell me. Daniel stopped. Lily walked toward him. You were trying to protect me. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry I lied. Lily hugged him. I forgive you. Daniel held her tightly. Outside, the city continued moving. Cars, people, noise. But inside that small kitchen, Daniel finally felt peace. His revenge was complete. Not because Richard lost his money. Not because he went to prison. But because the man who destroyed his family failed. Daniel and Lily were still standing. Still together. And finally, free. Hash final line. They thought taking everything from a single father would destroy him. But they forgot one thing. A father with nothing left to lose can become the most dangerous man in the world.